Okay. Hello,
Yeah.
Facebook Live. Hello, Zoom. We're just running a few minutes late, but that's the story of my life. I just wanted to say that I'm Cindy Willcocks, and I am the founder of R10, Enriching the Next Generation, which is an interest company, not for profit. And I'm going to let my guest introduce himself today. So over to you.
Hello, hi everybody. My name's Lester Jones, and at my present moment in time, I'm the event organizer with Plymouth and Cornwall Cancer Fund, based down in Plymouth, down in Devon.
Great, thank you. So we were just chatting before, we went live. I'm just seeing people join up, so I'll get a bit distracted for a minute, Lester. So
Sure.
I'm just going to give hi Lisa, hi Teresa. So we've just got a few people just bobbing on there. So today we're going to really just have an informal chat just for about the next 30 minutes. Just thinking about creative ideas to kind of engage with communities, and both you and I have got similar experiences and different experiences, which is great. And thought we could talk about real passion and interest in art and music and the creative side of you, which sounds really fantastic and something that I really love. And also, we're going to just talk about generally just about community interest companies. They get abbreviated to CICs, or not-for-profits, social enterprises, but charities as well, because you do a lot of charitable work. We were just talking about whether that feels like work or not. Did you want to say something about
that? All work with charity is generally by volunteers. So what people are doing is giving up their time. And the only thing that you've just been talking about, Cindy, is time and what time is about. We never have time for things. We're always putting things off till tomorrow. There's always another time for another thing. And time is the most important thing that people can give up, And I think if you're helping people and volunteers, if you're giving, you receive far more, 10 times over what you give, even if it's money. You give somebody £10 who you don't know at all, it will come back to you in many other different ways.
Yeah.
So it's about giving time. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's great. And some of your experiences, you were saying, kind of benefited from, your contribution and your connection with cancer and people experience.
I was a volunteer. I'll give you some background on that. But 5-6 years ago, I went into hospital. I had a bit of an infection on my leg, old sports wound, and I went into a ward and I had an operation. I had to stay in for 1 week, but the operation was quick and over in one day. But for the infection to clear up, I had to stay in for 1 week. Now I was walking wounded then, so I was able-bodied on one of the wards at Derryford, and I was watching everybody there, how short the staff they were, and lots of patients who perhaps couldn't reach their drinks, or they'd ring the bell for a nurse when, just for something simple like they drop something on the floor. So I started helping them because I was walking about the ward. And through that, one of the nurses said, have you ever thought of volunteering? You'd be really good at it. And you're good at nattering, because I'm from Wales and I'm good at nattering. So they suggested I become a volunteer. I started volunteering at Derryford, doing surveys on wards. And I found out that one of the wards that people didn't like to go on were the cancer wards, oncology wards, because people didn't know exactly how they could approach people to ask them to do a survey if they've got cancer. So I said, I'll have a go. It's people. I don't mind talking to them. And through that, I became pretty good at it. And I found out a gift for that. And because of that, I got invited to join as a volunteer at the Mustard Tree Cancer Support Centre at Derryford Hospital in Plymouth. And through that, I then started raising money. And that's how I became a fundraising and event organizer with the charities. And that background with cancer patients has led me into what I do now.
Yeah, great. And I think
that's a bit of the background to me, as to how I got where I am today. Where I am today.
So I think I'll make sure we put the links on as well for the charities that you're talking about in terms of raising money.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just make sure that if there's anyone listening that wants to contribute to that and can connect with that, then I would really encourage.
Yeah, it ought to help out. You know, and it's all about networking, you see, Cindy. I'm sure in what you do, it's about getting in contact with people who can network and network. By that, I mean, you can introduce you to other people who are who have a similar philosophy about life. I want to achieve perhaps what you want to do with CIC, etc.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love the power of networking and connecting with people. And like, we've got a few more people jumping on here. We've got hi Paul, hi Lynn, Donna's saying hello, and Joanne.
Yeah, hello to them, whoever they are. Hello. I can't see their names, but hello.
They're great. They're great. Lynn's hopped on. Lynn's just started a charity actually. So I'm hoping to be connecting Arta and CIC with the work that Lynn's doing as well. So, but
Okay.
I think it's really important, and that, you know, a lot of my time. So we've been running Arta has been running a crowdfunding campaign over the last 5 weeks. So we run a coaching and mentoring project for young women between
Right.
16 to 25. And this was something that I founded just because of my own life experiences, which, you know, some people have heard, some people haven't. But in short, I left school at 15, I left home at 15, and then I was out in the big wide world on my own. And I could have really have done with someone that could have guided me, or that I could have just spoken to, that I felt was independent. And, you know, I started, and it wasn't available. So I started Platform 50 because I wanted to empower women between the ages of 16 to 25, because I feel like that in particular, and it's not saying that it's not the same for men. I think men and women do have different needs, and I think how you might engage with men and women might be different. So Platform 50 is about 16 to 25-year-olds. It's about those young women and the things that they're going through. And, you know, I've been a mental health nurse for 20 years. I'm an EMDR therapist, so, you know, I work with trauma and PTSD and substance misuse, you know, so it's quite varied. So I kind of, you know, over the years, I've been lucky enough to get to know about what people might need, what makes them tick, what's helpful, what's not so helpful. But ultimately, everyone's individual. So I think one of the things I've been trying to do over the last 5 weeks is encourage our network to join forces with me, because me as a person, yeah, I've set it up, and yeah, I've got this idea about raising money, and, you know, and we've got to get to our target in order to ask the local authority for more money. So if we can get to 10,000, then we can ask the local authority for 50% of the overall target, which is great. And, you know, that'll be enough to keep the project going for over a year, rather than relying on volunteers. It will just give it some stability, and it, you know, it's fine. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Like, again, we were talking earlier, it doesn't feel like work. I just love it so much, and I think that's
how do you reach your target people? How do the people you're trying to reach become aware of you?
What, in terms of people supporting the campaign or using the project?
Yeah. What is it that you actually are going to offer the people, the female 16 to 25 market that you're on? Well, call it market, but I mean people who you say people with mental health issues, yeah?
Yeah, mental health issues, relationship problems.
So how can they find out about you? Are you going to work? Does that work through referrals or?
What we say is that we just get requests for involvement. So anyone can approach us. So what I've tried to do in setting up Platform 50 is I've tried to make it with less barriers as possible. So we have no waits, and we're instant access. So what our turn does is recruits and trains volunteers, and we also have employees in our turn. And we match people up. So we hear from the young person, and we're already supporting loads of young people, and there's not a shortage of young people needing help. So they're there, and we just ask them what they'd like to think about, what they'd like to concentrate on, what they'd like to work on. Now, they might not know that, but that's okay. Yeah. They just might need someone that they feel they don't know what it is, but they just want to talk to someone. So what we do is we match them up with a coach and a mentor. They're different skills, obviously. One's about facilitation, one's about kind of permission to advice, give, and offer experience. we help them with whatever it is they want help with. So, you know, that could be exam stress, that could be, you know, substance misuse issues, that could be mental health. And I'm not saying instead of the specialist service, because if someone needs specialist help, then they need specialist help. You know, we're not instead of, but what we do know is that there's huge waits, and there's you know, high threshold criteria to get help, and you know, it's not always the thing that someone wants. So the platform 50 happens in a public space, so you don't go to each other's houses, you don't sit in an appointment room, you just go and have a coffee, you just meet up, you have a coffee, and you have a conversation in a public space. And it's just a simple idea. And you know, I just created it because I thought, well, when I was growing up, I could have really have done with that help, and it just stems from there. So we have loads of young people that we support. We have loads of coaches and mentors that we support, and it's growing all the time. You know, there's even today, you know, I was talking to one of the RTEN employees just a few hours ago about a meeting that she did. So she went and met a young person with a potential mentor, just to see if there was that connection there, because we've got a choice in it. You know, not everyone gets on. You know, there might be an energetic flow that people, you know, don't connect with, and that's fine too.
How are you linking the people with the mentor or the people that, or the service or whatever it is that you're providing? How do you link to the individual? That's what I'm after. Sorry, for my questions there is to find out, like, you mentioned there about doing crowdfunding or fundraising, whatever it is, to raise funds. You mentioned about who it is you're trying to reach with what it is that you can offer. So you're putting together a team of mentors and people like that, with local businesses perhaps involved, you're suggesting?
Yeah, businesses, schools. You know, in terms of the coaching, we have lots of people from all walks of life. So you don't have to be trained. You can come without.
There's a bit of a time thing there, sorry. So if it's coming across, I'm not butting in. It's just that bit of a gap with the time because you're over there and I'm over here, etc. What is it that you want to do mainly? Do you want to create awareness of what CIC is on the platform 15, you say, or do you want to reach more, get it out there of the service that you're offering?
I think for me, there's three components. So components. I think the first thing, which is where my heart lies, is about raising the awareness for young women to say, look, someone is there and they can help you. So I've tried to remove all the barriers that you sometimes get, and we look at how we can do rather than how we can't do or you don't fit. We say, like, we're ready, this is about you, it's bespoke. You can request the involvement yourself. If you don't feel to do that, someone else can do that for you, and then it's just straight in with a meeting. So there's no, you know, you could make that contact and you could be in a meeting within a few days if you could do that. So
what area are you covering? Is it Plymouth or the southwest? What's the area? What's your sort of like catchment area, as we call it?
Yeah, so it's southwest. So we started in Plymouth, but what's happening is, like anything, it kind of grows. So we're now getting reach because it's a free service. So I wanted it to be a free service. I wanted everyone to be able to just out and have someone. So news is travelling. So we're starting to edge into Devon. We're starting to edge into Cornwall. So people are contacting from coaches and mentors.
Okay, then I'll mention at this point, I think, then, Cindy, that as you know, people may not know, I present a fortnightly charity show on Radio Walkham, which is an internet radio station based in Horrobridge, just outside of Plymouth, or between Tavistock and Yelverton. And I get thousands of listeners all over the world, and a lot in the southwest particularly. Now, it goes out on a Monday for 2 hours, 1 till 3 on a Monday. It's also recorded something called Mixcloud, whereby people can, that file, if you like, that program is recorded on, it's a bit like the iPlayer for radio, where you can hear the program again. You can also spin it out around the world, around the southwest. And I'm looking for people like representatives or somebody perhaps from your organisation who'd be willing to come on the station and perhaps talk about it for an hour.
Yeah, great.
Whether, you know, it's about what you do and how to reach people, etc. I can help with that. And
Yeah.
so if anybody watching or listening in, and, you know, by all means get in touch with you or through me, and we fix up a Monday where they can come in. They also get to play their 8 tracks of their life, which is like Desert Island Discs, Cindy. Do you remember that?
Not quite.
Yeah, it's like, well, basically they come in with the 8 tracks of their life. So during the hour, I have 2 guests on, one in the first hour, one in the second hour, but they come in and they play their 8 tracks. So it lightens up the chat about what it is and what they do. And I like to give, what I call it is Lester Goes Live, giving charities and volunteers a voice in the community. And it's all about the community, what you're doing, isn't it? Reaching the people there. So if anybody is listening or would be interested in that, I'm looking for people to come on. That might help you.
Yeah, great. I mean, that sounds amazing. And there is, you can't see it on Facebook Live, but on Facebook Live at the moment, people are just saying hello and
yeah, and they're all pressing the heart thing. Now they're going up the screen and
yeah, press your hearts for Lester. Come on. But
that's very nice.
Popped on and said that she's really excited about the charity work. So she's just, like I said, she's just set up a charity. She's very excited about it, and I think, you know.
Do you know what it's called? What it's called, Cindy, at this stage?
Yeah. So GMI, she's just set that up. So
okay.
our turn are gonna help Lynn, and we'll do whatever we can to work in partnership, because actually it's for the greater good. And I think that's the thing. I know it's a competitive, you know, a competitive society. Then I think people say, well, you know, we're raising money for this and we're doing that. People believe they can't work in
charity is a business.
It is a business.
And it's a multi-million-pound business. There are something like 70,000 charities in the UK.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And I think, yes, it's a business, but I think even, you know, businesses work together. So you are better together. So you don't have to be kind of competitive in that sense. You have to be good at what you do and clear about what you're offering, but you can still work in partnership to try and create, you know, the momentum behind actually achieving what you want, because we're all doing different things. So like Lynn's GMI charity, she's great. Like
the key to everything as well is to have clear objectives in the mind. The mind is a wonderful thing, okay? And we were talking a bit earlier about being now and being mindful and acting in the now and in the present time. What people have to do, particularly with charities or maybe your organization, is not just think about things, but to do it and do things that are going to make you smile. One of my sayings is, if it makes you smile, it will be worthwhile. Yeah. And anyone who's listening on Facebook, I've got a lovely singing group called Good Grief. The youngest singer is 9, the eldest is 90. And the only thing in tune is me on the keyboard, because people love music. And music is a great way of helping people with any mental health problems, as you're probably aware of there. You know, it brings back lots of lovely memories for people, etc. and what it does. And music is a good way that, you know, that you can use through your group and link up with different, you know. I'm just chucking another thing that I found works really well. People perhaps who you can imagine if you've been diagnosed with cancer and you're going through that prognosis, which is the future, and what if you like, the amount of time that you've got to live, which is often what people are faced with in a diagnosis. They will often say, how long have I got? And there again is that question about time. Now, they also, what I've learned from those is the way that they've handled themselves mentally about that, because that's where the mental health thing comes in. And often it's the mental side that makes people ill more than the physical side.
Yeah.
And this is why I think it's a really good thing that you're doing, is helping young people there as you target market, or not the right word for it, you know, that need help on making themselves happy, isn't it?
Exactly that. It's, you know, it's totally about that. There is nothing.
It's being happy and content. Not many people are content. Everyone's chasing money. They haven't got enough money. Money is irrelevant. If you've only been diagnosed, you've got 3 weeks to live, the last thing you're thinking about is how much money you got in your pocket.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, like in terms of the job that I've done.
Yeah. And because I don't know so well, or perhaps some of you people who are on Facebook who are listening or whatever it is, I'm treating this that I don't know it. So I'm listening to you about what you're saying, about what it is that you do and what you're trying to achieve. Because I'm new to finding out about you myself.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
picking up little where I think I can help out or help anybody who's watching on Facebook or listening on Facebook, whatever. And I'm always there to, people can get in touch with me. Friend me on Facebook. I don't know if I said my name at the beginning. It's Lester Jones. So if you friend me on Facebook, or Plymouth and Cornwall Cancer Fund, or Radio Walkham. Okay, those are the links.
I'll make sure that we put the links on there, because I think people are genuinely interested in what we're talking about here, because people hopping on and hopping off and commenting, which is great. And also I was saying that this video is being recorded. We're recording it and it's going to go onto YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it over again. So they might be able to pick up some of the top tips and some of your details. But
I'll put it on the pages, the groups that I run and organise as well.
Right.
Once you give me that link, and we can do something like that. What's the future then for you? Can I ask you about your future with things? Have you got a time thing on this year? By targets by September, you want to get so many people involved or get the fundraising done by? Have you got a time on that?
So the name Platform 50, platform was about elevating, raising people up, and 50 was about the initial number of women that I wanted to help, and we're heading towards that figure already. We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
So that was the kind of desire, and what we have is people working or connecting one-on-one. So everyone's held in mind by someone else, because I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like the radio chat will help you there if you want people, because it's very good what I do at getting people to get involved.
Yeah, great. I'd love to take you up on that opportunity. That'd be great. Yeah, and I think we are looking for coaches and mentors, and we do provide training, we do provide support for people that need it. That's different for everyone. But I think this next period of time for Platform 50 is really about securing that. So I will do whatever it takes to make something work. That's just who I am. People that know me know that. And if that means I have to put 80 hours, 100 hours, I don't even keep track of hours, to be honest. I just am. And
it's just the time you've only got now. You remember, you haven't got that hours.
So one of the things that I really want to do for the project is I want the project to have sustainability. I want it to have an option so that it can continue without me, because it's great. I'm loving it, and I will always be a part of it. And actually, it needs to kind of stand on its own 2 feet. So that was part of the crowdfunding, really, to try and make it sustainable, so it stood on its own 2 feet. So it had proper admin support, that it had proper coordination, that didn't just include me. I can carry on doing it forever and a day, but I think that there's so much that I do within the business. Sometimes I'm pulled this way, sometimes I'm pulled that way, and I think we deserve the very best. So our turn is employed people. We've got Claire, we've got Tess, they're on board. Juliet's been on board, Laurie's been on board. So people coming out, in and out. We've had Teresa, Fran, they've worked in GP surgeries and care homes with me. So people come in and go out as the projects come in and go out. But for me, Platform 50 is one that's consistent, and I want to build it in that way. So I kind of feel like it's headed in that way, but the future for Platform 50 is about it just permanently being there, because I know the difference it makes to women's life. I meet these women, I talk to these women, I meet the women that can't get out of the house, that want to be dead, want to end their lives, that they're struggling with relationships, or they don't like who they are, or whatever it is. I meet them all, and I just want that to continue. So that's the future for Platform 50. So we've got about 7 days left on our current crowdfunding page. So we'll just keep plugging on at that, and it is what it is. we're just reaching out to people and just saying, jump on board if you want to jump on board. If you think that's important. If you've got a daughter, if you've got a niece, if you've got a sister.
Get them all singing. Get them all to join Good Grief. You'd be amazed what it does.
I tell you all, join Good Grief. You've heard it here. I'm a bit past singing myself.
Yeah, we performed. We performed at the switching on of the Christmas lights in Plymouth. We performed the switching lights at Plymstock. We do events and things. We go every Wednesday. We perform in residential homes that you've just mentioned, residential and care homes.
Love it.
Every Wednesday. It's brilliant for what it does, and it helps people with dementia as well.
Amazing.
And Alzheimer's, etc. And certainly people with any mental health issues. I'm blowing my own trumpet there. Trumpet is another musical instrument there, but I'm blowing my own trumpet about Good Grief singing group there.
No, good. Like I totally get that. You may not have seen it, but I'm a bit, like I said, I'm a bit partial to singing myself. I'm not saying I'm good, but I'm saying I like it. Yeah. So there are a few videos of me singing. The most recent one being on a street with a man who had his street karaoke, and I was helping him busk.
You were waving the hat, were you?
Yeah, I was waving the hat, the microphone. Yeah, but there you go. That's life. Good. He enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. So look, I think we're running out of time now, Lester. Like, time goes so quickly.
Yeah.
I thank you so much for coming on. And again, people can.
Well, I hope it's helped. It's all about getting awareness. That's the main thing about what you guys are doing. I can offer awareness through what I do in the organisations that I'm with, etc. And yeah, it is to the future. If I'm of any help in the future, by all means, just give us a call.
And vice versa, like in terms of like what you said, there's lots about what you said that people will just really connect with, and I want to make sure that I'm getting
absolutely
on there so people have got it, and that they can contact you, or they can comment
yes, sure,
page or whatever.
No problem.